Yeah, so here we go. Namaste, everybody. Welcome to the channel. I welcome you all from the bottom of my heart, and you guys are very fortunate if you have got this opportunity to watch this video. Make sure you are a CSE aspirant, or if not, then one of ECSE aspirant, and you are between 21 to 24 or 25 years of age. Then it is gonna significantly benefit you if you watch this video. So what it is all about, as you must have read in the thumbnail, that there's a lot of talk going on nowadays for last a couple of years about the backup, like what backup should one have when he or she is preparing for CSE. So before going into what to have, let us see why to have. For a simple reason, if we go purely mathematically or empirically, then there are 7 to 8 lakhs of aspirants who are appearing in the examination every year, in the prelims every year. Out of those, only barely 10 to 12,000 fortunate ones make it to the mains, and out of those only 3 to 4,000 make it to the interview, and out of those even i I guess not above not above 1,000 make it to the final list. And even out of those, like 500, I don't know the exact figure that is for the commission to release, but a large number of people, like above 30%, they reappear in the examination so as to improve their rank. So can you imagine, guys, can you imagine for a second, like if you somehow get the opportunity to write the mains examination, then can you imagine who are you competing with? Who are you competing with? Like half of the people like who had cleared the examination last year, they again reappear in the examination so as to improve their rank. So this is why it becomes all the more important. There are people like who have wasted the formative years, the most productive years of their life in the CSE process, and still like they have got no services allotted to them. And at this juncture, it becomes very important, it becomes prudent for you to look for some other opportunities, and when they resonate with the syllabus, with the conditions, with the pattern which CSE is having, then it becomes all the more important to look at them, to pay heed to them, not to give a cold shoulder to them. So CDS is one such opportunity. If you don't know about it, then it is uh, Central Defense Services Examination. It is conducted by the commission which conducts CSE. Then it becomes very great. I mean, the very fact that the sheer fact that UPS is conducting it, then it tells volumes about the prestige this job, this post carries with itself. You become a lieutenant, you get 2 stars on your shoulder in all the three services, be it navy, be it military, be it your air force, right? What is the exam pattern? Let us know about it. It comprises of three examination which are held in the same day. The first one is your GK, second is your English, and third is your mathematics. If you are opting for like all four academies, like IMA, INA, AFA, and OTA, then you are supposed to appear in all the three. And if you are opting for only OTA, because for these above three, what you need to have is just a second, guys, just a second. Where have I opened it? Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, so here we go. For these three, what you need, for the above three, what you need is a technical degree with you. Like you should be an engineer, then you can go for IMA, IN, and FA. And if you are not, then you are left with only OTA, right? And then you won't have to face this elementary mathematics paper. You will have just two paper of 200 marks each, going for 2 hours each. And both are in objective manner, and both will have their own negative marking. And once you qualify them, then you will go for the interview. And it's a very different kind of interview, like it goes on for 5 days, and it is called as SSB in case of OTA, right? Now coming to the syllabus, guys, like everybody knows English. If you come from an English medium school, if you have studied a little bit of English, then you won't have to do uh, something extra here, and you will be all sorted to go for the examination. Next, coming to the GK, then if you are into CSE for last 1 year or so, then even if you are not into CSE, then even after reading basic books, then you will fairly manage to prepare your GK. And if you have in your plus 2 maths with you, then you would of course have the basic understanding of the elementary mathematics. So this is one thing, like why we should not avoid this examination. See, one thing I had already told you. Let me. Why is it not working? Yeah. First thing I told you, like it is the examination which is conducted by the same body which conducts your CSE. Now, second thing is the syllabus, right? It very much resonates with your CSE. Now, third thing is the pattern. There is no mains examination. There are only objective type paper. Now, it would take hardly 6 hours of yours to go to the center and appear in the examination. Now, fourth thing is what? It is held twice a year. So if you get enlightened like early in your life at age of 20 or 21, then uh, you get the opportunity to appear like twice a year. So the worst case scenario, if you do not succeed like in the initial few attempts, then I have seen the people who have appeared 10 times in it. Considering the fact that this would not be your first choice, this would be like a secondary choice or third, a backup plan. So you will not feel very sad if you do not appear, if you do not qualify it, or if you do not get recommended in it. The sheer fact is that the sheer experience which you will have there, the tag that would be there, that you were in the conference, you were there for 5 days, that would leave a nice impact on the CSE interview, that you will face. And if you get recommended, there is nothing like that. That is great, fabulous. And there are people who I have seen like who were primarily into the CSE, and they went to SSB and they did wonderful there, and they got recommended. They are not serving in the SSB because as I told you, they were primarily into the CSE. So they are now into the Labasna taking the training. So this is the advantage of this examination. What people need to know is that yeah, there is such examination which exists, and people should take it sincerely. As I told you, I also don't come from a family like where people were into the defense services. I That is why I guess I had no passion in it. Though I'm patriotic, I'm a nationalist. I wanna dedicate my life to the Mother India, but Mother Bharat, Ma Bharti. But it's just that I'm not made for the army per se. Going there, serving on the border. So, but yeah, in case if I get recommended, I get the tag of that lieutenant, then it adds much value to my resume, to my DAF. Don't you think? Isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. So that is why it becomes very important for the people who thinks that they are not supposed to, they have no interest, zero interest. Even if they have zero interest, the 5 days which you will spend there would be amazing. The 5 days you will cherish your entire life. You will get to know um, the culture of India. You will meet the people from across the India. You will this would be the best way one can have to inculcate the values such as discipline, determination, dedication, punctuality, a kind of to start living an organized life, to develop skills like compassion, other things. So this is why it becomes very very important to take the examination seriously. I guess all of the doubts which are there in your mind would now be cleared. I was there, my friend told me. So the last year when I had the mains, this year also I appeared in the mains. So last year it was in, I guess, October, November, and post the mains I had my SSB scheduled. This was the first SSB, and this was in fact the first CDS examination which I wrote. I appeared in the examination in March or April. In April, I guess I was in Delhi at that point of time, and I had my SSB scheduled post mains last year in 2022, and it was in Bhopal SSB. I went there, and fortunately, with the blessings of God, I got screened, and I didn't prepare for it much, and I saw like 3 to 4 people were there who had written mains of UPSC and went there, right? So there are people, but very few. A large chunk of people do not know about the examination like CDS, CAPF, and other such examination, because the effect of the media, effect of the coaching industry, the way they have displayed CSE, the over glorification, over hype of CSE, the very fact that it is super high rated, overrated, it just overshadows other examinations like CDS and CAPF. And one thing which I'm telling you with a certain sense of responsibility, and after doing some kind of a survey, you can say, in an informal way, after talking to my colleagues, like I have got friends who are serving officers in the CESE as well as in the CDS, who are lieutenant, because the very room which I stayed there for 5 days, three of them now are officers. Two of them were recommended at that point of time, and now one of them has been recommended now. So I had this opportunity to interact with the people and to just observe the thing and analyze the things, and I came to the conclusion that clearing CDS is tougher than clearing CSE. It is because of the process. In the CDS, your interview part will dominate. In the CSE, your mains will dominate. So there is Shruti Sharma, who is a topper of 2021, and even if she had scored like 0 marks in the interview, then also she would have cleared the examination. Why? Because of the exceptional and extraordinary performance which she showed in her mains. Now it comprises of 3 stages. Like first one is your psychology test. Once you get it screened, then second is your GTO, and third is your interview. There is no transparency as such, like which stage is allotted how much of weightage. Okay, if you do exceptionally well in psych, then your GTO will be tested, then your interview will be tested. So it becomes very difficult because the people there all are very very qualified. Those who do not get good marks in the mains or do not clear the interview, uh, we can say that yeah, they didn't prepare well. But here people, you will see the people who have a ripped body, like who are intellectually, academically, who are brilliant, the people with a fabulous past record, academic record, of both curricular, extracurricular, and still they are unable to make it to the final list. As I told you, if I haven't, then I'm saying it, like 100 to 150 people reach there at the center early in the morning. Out of those, only 25 to 30 get screened, and out of those, only barely 2 to 3, and even one, or even not only one, sometimes get recommended. Look at the success ratio, guys. I have talked to people who have been into the process for like 10 to 12 times, and still they haven't got recommended, and they deserve it like anything. They have got everything in them to be there in the final list. Had they put so much of efforts in the CSE, then they would have cleared it kapka. But no, they didn't. They were into the CDS, and we should be into the CDS, because in the CSE you have got no time limit as far as I know. Even for the general it is like 30 years, so you can go there anytime. But in CDS you have the restriction on the age, right? So considering the fact that you have the restriction on the age, it is a prestigious job. If you have even slightest of inclination towards the army, then I guess it would be very foolish of you to skip it, to not consider it. For the girls, I would say that it becomes a bit easier, because historically speaking, there were discrimination with the women, and we can say we can see a perceptible um, disproportionate share of males in the defense forces, and now the government is taking affirmative action and pushing for the increasing participation of women in the defense services. So like out of these 20 to 30 people who get screened, if they are a batch of girls, then like chances are even 8 to 10 would be recommended. Or if they are boys, so there are already a lot of boys out there who are competent and meritorious, then barely one or two would be recommended finally. That 4 day process, I again say, would be very memorable. And one another thing is that as I told you, like people from across the India come there. There would be interesting intermingling, um, because people from various culture would come there. So in case like if you get a center, there are 4 to 5 centers out there for SSB. One is in Ahmedabad, second is in Haryana, third is in Varanasi, one is in central India, Bhopal, two are there in south. So for the first timers, what they have done is that they compensate, they give you the compensation, they will reimburse all the expenses which you bore for the travel. So this is a kind of travel allowance which you get. You can come by the AC coach of the train, and don't worry, you will be reimbursed with all the money, and you do not have to pay anything for the time you stay there in your SSB period. And the amenities would be there, would be amazing, food would be amazing, overall the experience which you will get there, the values which you will get there would be really really awesome. You will cherish your entire life. So now let me take you through some glimpses. mm, wait a second. This was when I was studying for the CSE late at the night in the library in Delhi, and we were gossiping. And one of the friends, he told that you don't know about CDS examination. It is a wonderful examination. You should apply for it. And then I applied for it. In the March or April was this examination is scheduled. Like 40 kilometers away from the Delhi, I got a center somewhere near Noida, I guess. I went there and I qualified it, and then I got screened also, and I had this wonderful opportunity to be the part of that 4 to 5 days long process. So why is it difficult to get recommended in the SSB? The reason being that they check your OLQs, that is officers like quality, and uh, they have a lots of thing to check in you, and they have got a significant period of time, because you're gonna stay there for 4 to 5 days. They check you 360-degree, taking your psych test, taking your physical test, taking your mental cognitive tests, taking your interview. It goes on like for 1 year, even more than that sometimes. There's just one person who has the liberty to ask you anything and everything about you. And this is just amazing. So what they check is that whether you possess the officer like qualities. Now what are they? Effective intelligence, reasoning ability, organizing ability, power of expression. Under the heart, it comes social adaptability, cooperation, sense of responsibility, initiative, self-confidence, speed of decision, ability to influence the group, liveliness, determination, courage, and stamina. Do not think that like you are not very ripped, you don't have a macho physique, or you are thin, then you are not supposed to be there. No guys, these physical features are the factors which are least considered, which are given the least weightage in the process. Why is it so? Because we are living in a modern, industrial revolution 4.0 modern age, 21st century, not in the stone age where when the battles would be fought with the sickles and swords. So now things are becoming more tech driven. It is the mind which matters. If you have the strength in your mind, then you'll do extraordinarily great. And no matter if you have the ripped body, but in the mind you cannot make the decisions at the time. You cannot take the good decisions, then it is of vain. The physical body which you are blessed with is of vain. So I've seen that it is not that there is any partiality or biasness in the process, like given preference to the people who have a nice physique. Rather, what I would say, that the people who got selected from my batch per se, recommended from my batch, they were not so ripped, and there were other people as well who were kind of bodybuilders, but they weren't recommended. So you should go there no matter how thin you are or how fat you are. This is the process uh, with the diagram, schematic diagram. It has been brilliantly shown there. The stage one, you get screened in. There are two tests. One is of quantitative aptitude, another one is of like you are shown a picture and you need to write a story on that and to discuss that story after narrating it, you know. So on the basis of this, or you get screened in. Once you get screened in, you will be facing these psych tests, which comprise of TAT, that is thematic perception test. Second is FAT, that is word association test, and third is SRT, that is situation reaction test, and fourth is your SD, that is self description test, right? And once you are done with your psych test, then you go to the ground, which is situated like 2 to 4 kilometers away from your residence, your academy, and there take place a lot of activities, physical activities, uh, which uh, which are held to assess whether you are physically capable or not. Not only your physical capabilities, but through these activities they check that like how brilliant does your mind function. So after the GTO would be held your conference on the last day, you would be sitting amidst 8 to 10 army officers, and they would ask you some questions, and if they think that you are the person with the competence and merit, if they are interested in you, then they will ask you so many questions again and again, like they would grill you. And if they think that no, you are not the material to be selected, then they would simply ask you whether you like the food, and you would say that yes, it was amazing. They would ask, is there any other thing which you want to suggest? You say that no sir, that is all. I really enjoyed it. No, not even this, because the environment is, there are 8 to 10 military officers sitting there, so you'll be so overwhelmed by the environment only, like you will just say yes, 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 and then they will say that okay, thank you, your name, and you will come out. So this is pretty much about the last day. Yeah. No, this is president house. Yeah, so this was the hall. This was the Maniksha hall. When after screening in, we were supposed to submit our documents, and where our screening test was held. And the person you are seeing here is Ash. He was a brilliant guy. I was hoping for his recommendation, but no, he wasn't. Um, Unfortunately, and this was the room where we stayed. There were four other people, and along with us, there were so many other people who came there from different batches. Like there were girls, there were boys from different batches. At the same time, it has the capacity to host thousands of candidates. So this was the basketball court. There were sports amenities, facilities, courts. Food was again amazing, very nutritious and proteinaceous. As you can see that how stuffed is the platter, and the discipline is one thing like which I would take from there, like which I learned. Discipline, punctuality, live a organized life, live like a gentleman. These are some values like in some people the casual component, informal component dominates, and they live a very casual life, right? So if you go in the army, if you are going to enter into the public services, civil services, or into in any occupation, be it your own business or any job, then you are supposed to inculcate some qualities such as discipline, and army or defense is one such institute, which can teach you in a very brilliant manner. So just to say that what happened with me, there were two instances on the very first day when I was heckled by the person who was standing there and taking care of the, he was kind of a caretaker or inspector in the mess. So he told me like what I did. As you can see the chair in the, yeah, this chair. So somebody who pulled the chair forgot to keep it there at its place after finishing. So the inspector came closer to me and told me gently to keep it at its rightful place. This was one thing, and secondly, when I went there to put the platter into the dustbin or sink, then the person came closer to me and said that kindly keep the spoon in a separate sink. These were some instances which I still remember, and I introspected, I reflected upon it, and I thought that look how indisciplined I am. And these are some small things which you will discover about yourself, and if you are a good person, intelligent person, you will take them positively and try to improve on them. Mind you guys, there are no mobile phones allowed there, so you go to the internet cafe and pay some amount, and then you get the uh, chance to explore, to serve whatever you need to do, to play games. People play games there, yeah. And mm, what else? Armed forces, blood, guts, and glory. This is the first day people come there with the bags filled with all the required material, and it is very sad to see them going with the bags fully packed, with the bags unzipped, because they weren't screened in. So there was so many people like who were capable, who were meritorious, but still they couldn't get screened in. Sometimes it depends on the luck as well, and more so it is saddening to see some people not getting recommended when they are like overly qualified. Sometimes the officers, they say that they are looking for the people who are qualified, but the people are actually overqualified. I'm unable to make sense of it. It is up to you. So yeah, this was our batch, as you can see that, and 2 to 3 people out of them were selected, and the people like having various physique, like be them shorter in height or taller, be them I mean fat or thin, they were screened in and given the equal opportunity. There was the principle of equality to take part in the activities. What I want to tell you is that take the examination seriously. If you come from like IIT, IIM, and other prestigious institutes, if you have got a solid backup with yourself, then also like if you go and appear in the examination, go in this SSB process, then it will make a good impression when you go there to take the CSA interview, and it will not be like you are losing something. Okay, as I told you, they sponsor your first visit. If it is your first SSB, then you can take it as a vacation, holidays vacation as well. Yeah, so this is one thing, and second thing is that key. Yeah, second thing is I pointed out these 4 things. This is the examination which is conducted by UPSC only, and the job is very prestigious. It's a service rather, and the pattern is very easy. It is quite similar to the UPSC, and it is conducted twice a year. These are some points which you should keep in the mind, and for your benefit, what I've done is you should thank me. Like when I wasn't prepared even a bit, and I went there, I got screened in, then I made some good connections there. I still have the contacts, the people I met there, we had good bonding, and I talked to them. I got to know about the pattern and other things, though I never appeared again in the SSB, in the CDS examination only for that matter, but still I researched about it, right? And then I decided to make the videos only for the people who are interested. Like 4 to 5 people approached me. They were from various places. I was in Delhi at that point of time. So what I thought is of coming out with the videos in the sequence, in the order, so as to tell the people how in a less amount of time, how in a smart way they can prepare something so as to get recommended. Because there are people, there was a guy like the who came 5 days before us, and he got a plus sign, and he said that he prepared only for 2 days. he saw some YouTube videos and he watched them, and he joined no coaching, nothing like that, and he made it to the final list. And amongst his group, his batch, like there were 25 to 30 people. There would of course be many seniors also who have had 8 to 10 experiences, but he was the only one who was selected. So sometimes, yeah, it is said that there is a bias towards the freshers, because as it is said that if you are a fresher, you can be molded in the way the institution wants you. Like it is easier to there is a mud or sand. It is said that I'm unable to articulate it in English, कि जो घड़ा रहता है ना, the potter, when he designs or shapes a pot, then it is easy to shape it when it is gila, it is not rigid. It is easier to write anything on a plain sheet. So if you are like a fresher, then you have got high chances. You can watch my videos, you can watch any other videos, whatever you have got. The only reason and motive behind coming out with this informative video was that uh, when I was there to appear in the examination, I had literally no idea about it related to this examination, and I felt that as a person only, not as somebody like who is into examinations and preparations. As a person only, I should be aware of like how is the process to get into the defense services. I thought that it is only through NDA, but no. So this was the motive, because now people are becoming more cautious, more pragmatic in the way they approach CSE, and things are becoming uncertain in the CSE, be it in the prelims, mains, and interview. There is subjectivity everywhere, there is certainty nowhere. So in such situation, it would be prudent of you if you discover some other options, and if you like are really interested, then firstly you should go through these videos. And if you think that you should I should come up with more videos like on the backup, especially I have designed this series keeping in mind this backup thing only, because there are already a lot of videos out there in the public. Why is it required, why is it needed? We all know it. uh, I mean, I gave you the figures, stats. These figures speak. Why do we have a backup? Like, but what people do not say is that what is that, what actually could be that backup is something which I would be talking upon in the consequent videos. This video got slightly protracted because of the fact that I had the personal experience with this thing with the SSB. In the upcoming videos, you will see the talks on the some similar examinations like CAPF. It is also a defense related examination. Some other things which you can pursue like NET, JRF, if you want to go into the academics and become the professors. FYI, I have like cleared it, and I'm working as a research scholar now. And because I didn't prepare for it, some people ask that how did you do it. So I didn't prepare for it. It was sociology, and I had experience of 2 mains in the CSE. So with this experience, I cleared it. And there are so many other opportunities and avenues out there which you should explore. What are their pros and cons, what is their pattern, and how feasible it is to carry them along with the CSE would be the topic of the next videos in this series, which you should not miss. And if you are really interested into the CDS, which I told you, like any sane person who is between 21 to 24 should take it seriously. Then there are a couple of friends of mine who have cleared CDS, and then they are into CSE. It was originally like they were primarily into the CSE, but they also wrote CDS and got into CDS and were fortunately recommended. And after that, they came into CSE and now serving the country as all India service officers. So I'll call them like Shrusti is one, Giant is one. I'll call these people for the better clarity, and you can express your thoughts, your views. How's the video? Do you like it? And if you liked it, if you could get something tangibly beneficial from it, then you can hit the like button. Please subscribe and put the comments down below in the comment section. Wishing you guys all the best. With this, signing off. Jai Hind.